Welcome to Hillary Emmanuel Ministries, where faith meets power and breakthroughs are born. Here, we equip you with bold prayers, life-transforming teachings, and spiritual strategies to overcome every challenge life throws your way. If you're in the London area, we warmly invite you to fellowship with us in person. Otherwise, join our live services right here on YouTube at Hillary Emmanuel Ministries or download our app, Diadem Media, to access our 24-hour radio channel. Subscribe now, and let's grow in faith together.
We are talking about what I call fighting for the progenitorial blessing of the wombs and the breasts. Fighting for the progenitorial blessings of the wombs and the breasts. It's a bit complex, isn't it? But you know about progenitors. That is your ancestors. Progenitors, your ancestors, your forefathers, your great-grandforefathers. You came out from somebody, and that person came out from somebody, and that person came out from somebody. And that's how God arranges from Adam and Eve. He arranged us in such a way. And when he created Adam and Eve, the Bible says he blessed them. He blessed them. Brethren, that blessing that God spoke upon Adam and Eve, now that blessing will pass to their children. And their own children will pass to the next generation. Will pass on like that. That's how the blessing has been flowing. And that's how the blessing is supposed to flow and come down to our own lives. That's what you call ancestral blessings or progenitorial blessings. And the Bible describes it as the blessing of the womb and the breast. Why? Because they come with us from birth. They are the blessings. The moment you are coming out of your mother's womb and you are sucking your mother's breast, that blessing will begin to flow into your own life. And the moment you are giving birth to children also, you begin to transfer that blessing also to their life. This is how the blessing is supposed to flow. Unfortunately, a lot of people, their own have been tampered with here and there. And the blessing does not come down. The blessing does not affect them. And you must understand this, brethren. It's not only blessing that flow like that. There's what also you call ancestral curses or progenitorial curses. Troubles and problems that flow from ancestors. That is the one that manifests quickly. That is the one that show up easily. But the blessings, they have a way of affecting those ones. Look at the Bible with me. In Genesis 49. Genesis 49, look at verse 3. He said, Reuben, thou art my firstborn. And I want all the firstborns to listen carefully today. I want all the firstborns to pray this prayer with all your life. Because firstborns, they have very special privilege with the blessing we are talking about here today. The blessings, their own portion is not the same portion with all other borns. Firstborn, they have special portion of what we are talking of, this progenitorial blessing, because they open the womb and they suck the breast first. Look at what follows. He say, thou art my firstborn, my might, and the beginning of my strength, the excellency of dignity, the excellency of power. Do you see how many things that should flow from Jacob straight into Reuben's life? All this excellency of this, excellency of that, the dignity of this, the dignity of that, they should automatically flow into the life of Reuben. That's how God arranged it. But look at what happened in verse 4. He said, unstable as water, thou shalt not excel. That is exactly what I'm talking about. Pronouncements like this, curses like this, they destroy everything. With this very statement Jacob made here, he has instantly cut Reuben off from the progenitorial blessings of the womb and the breast. He has no right to it anymore. He can no longer enjoy it. And do you know, growing up, especially those who were born in Africa, who grew up with Africa, parents that are very stressed out already, parents that are angry and wicked on their own, that they pronounce all kinds of wicked things upon their children daily. And those pronouncements, they cut people off from ancestral blessings, from generational blessings. Do you see what Jacob said here? Look at the reason he gave. He says, Because thou wentest up to thy father's bed, then defilest thou it. He went up to my couch. He said because Jacob was very, very old, extremely old, over 100 plus before he married. So when he married young children. He married young children. He married one, get one free, marry one, get one free. So he had 4 wives. Those get one free servants that they gave to his real wives, they were also little children. So some of them were the age mate of his own children. Some of them were the age mate of Reuben. So Reuben now fell in love with whatsoever happened, had affair with one of them. So this is where he pronounced this thing upon Reuben. Now look at what he now did. Verse 22. Look at what he did. So remember, this blessing did not start from Jacob. It was the blessing of Abraham that was set up by covenant. All the sacrifices of Abraham, all the whole relationship Abraham had with God that attracted all the blessing of God, the pronouncement of God, and put it on Isaac. Isaac transferred it to Jacob. And now Jacob was supposed to transfer it to Reuben. But look at what happened here, verse 22. He said, Joseph is a fruitful bough. That is a fruitful branch. Which, remember, he had 12 sons. And all the 12 sons now, they are all branches from him. He said, Joseph stand out. So Joseph, you see what is pronouncing upon Joseph? Joseph will be bearing fruit as a branch more than the other children. He says, even a fruitful bough by a well, whose branches run over the wall. Look at verse 23. The archers have sorely grieved him and shot at him and hated him. But his bow abode in strength, and the arms of his hand were made strong by the hand of the mighty God of Jacob. From thence is the shepherd, the stone of Israel. Now look at verse 25. Even by the God of thy father. Do you see what Jacob is doing here now? He's directly tying Joseph. Joseph was number 11 or so. Joseph was number 11. He jumped all the other ones in the middle. He jumped all of them and went to number 11 and started to connect that one directly, plug that one into the blessing of Abraham. He says, look at what he said. He said, who shall bless? He said, who shall help thee? Verse 25, even by the God of thy father, who shall help thee? And by the Almighty, who shall bless thee? Look at the blessings now. He said, with the blessings of heaven above. So all the blessing coming from heaven, meant for Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, and his children, we have to go directly into the life of Joseph instead of Reuben. Blessings of the deep that lieth under, which means every blessing on the ground. As they are coming up, they must go to Joseph. Blessings of the breast and of the womb. Verse 26. He said, the blessings of thy father have prevailed above the blessings of my progenitors unto the utmost bound of the everlasting hills. So he tied Joseph to all the blessings of the breast and the womb, and the progenitorial blessings, all the ancestral blessings. He tied everything to Joseph. They shall be where? On the head of Joseph, and on the crown of the head of him that was separate from his brethren. Brethren, with this pronouncement, something has been altered. Something serious has been altered. This progenitorial blessing always followed the respect of the law, the respect of seniority by birth, the respect of seniority by birth, except they tamper with it. When Jacob did this one, there was no law then. Law will come over 400 or 500 years later. Law will still come later when Moses will now come up. That's when the law will come up. But this one, if you are the firstborn, the progenitorial blessings of the ancient breast and womb will deposit directly upon you, automatically. But as there is a progenitorial blessing, that's how there is also curses. Do you see the one he pronounced on Reuben? He said, he shall not excel. That's a curse. Now let's go on and see the law. When the law came in. Exodus chapter 13. Exodus 13. Look at verse 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, sanctify unto me all the firstborn, whatsoever opened the womb among the children of Israel, both of man and of beast, it is mine. Firstborns, are you listening? Are you hearing me? The Bible says that everything that opened the womb belongs to the Lord God Almighty. That's when he doesn't negotiate it. No negotiation. It's automatically God's property. Look at verse 12. He said that thou shalt set apart unto the Lord all that opened the matrix. He said everybody that came out first from the womb, if you are the firstborn, whether animal, whether human being, you have to set that person apart. That person belongs to God. And every firstling that cometh of a beast which thou hast, the male shall be the Lord's. And every firstling of an ass thou shalt redeem with a lamb. And if thou wilt not redeem it, then thou shalt break his neck. And all the firstborn of man among thy children shalt thou redeem. Look at Exodus 22. Look at verse 29. He said, when you have the firstborn, are you there? Thou shalt not delay to offer the firstborn of thy ripe fruit, that is their first fruit. You shouldn't delay it. You have to bring it promptly. And of thy liquors, the firstborn of thy sons shalt thou give unto me. Verse 30. Likewise shalt thou do with thy oxen and with thy sheep. 7 days it shall be with his dam, and on the 8th day thou shalt give it me. Deuteronomy 21. Verse 15. Deuteronomy 21 verse 15. If a man have 2 wives, now that thing Jacob did, God has to set up a law to correct it. That thing Jacob did. Because we know the root of all those things. We know the root because he didn't like Leah. And so he didn't want his blessing to go to the children of Leah. He would rather let them go to the children of the woman he loves. So look at the law God gave. If a man have 2 wives, one beloved, like Rachel, and another hated, like Leah, and they have both him children, 2 of the women have children, both the loved one and the hated one, if the firstborn son be house that is hated, like Reuben, then it shall be when he maketh his sons to inherit that which he has. Because what we are talking about is progenitorial inheritance. He said if you want to divide your inheritance, that he may not make the son of the beloved firstborn before the son of the hated. That's exactly what Jacob did. He tactically, and then Reuben also played to his hand. So he found a legal ground to remove him. And if you remove him, why not hand it over to the secondborn? Why go to number 11 like Nigerian judiciary? That we look at people that did the election. Number 1 disqualified. Why not give to number 2? Why go and give it to number 4? So you can see the game Jacob played here. Went and gave it to number 11. Judah is a good person. A good child at least. Why not give it to Judah? He's the strongest of all of them, fighting all their wars. Why hand it over? Because that's the son of Rachel, his beloved wife. So that's why God gave this law. So he said he may not make the son of the beloved firstborn before the son of the hated, which is indeed the firstborn. Verse 17. But he shall acknowledge the son of the hated for the firstborn by giving him a double portion. Take note now, firstborn, you have double portion of blessing above every other person in the family. Double portion. He said he should give him double portion of all that he had, for he is the beginning of his strength. Is that not what Jacob said? He said he's the beginning of his strength. The right of the firstborn is his. 1 Chronicles chapter 5. 1 Chronicles 5. Look at verse 1. This is where Reuben is supposed to fight. Assuming Reuben knows what we are talking about here today. Assuming Reuben understands all this secret that time. This is where he will have dealt with it in prayers. Look at verse 1. 1 Chronicles 5 verse 1. Now, the sons of Reuben. Are you following me? The sons of Reuben, the firstborn of Israel. The Bible called him firstborn. And then put a bracket to explain. For he was the firstborn. But for as much as he defiled his father's bed, his birthright was given unto the sons of Joseph, the son of Israel. And the genealogy is not to be reckoned after the birthright. From there, they cancel the arrangement. Brethren, we are praying this prayer today for those who they cancel such arrangement and you don't know. Whereby they tampered with some rights in the family, in the foundation, in darkness, and you are not aware of it. But it's affecting your life as we speak now. Because after this tampering, Reuben's life never became the same again. Reuben's life was permanently altered. Now look at what follows here. Verse 2. For Judah prevailed above his brethren. That's what I was saying here. The Bible even recognized, why not give the thing to Judah? If you disqualify the firstborn for his sin, why not hand it over to Judah? He said Judah did very well. He prevailed above his brethren, and of him came the chief ruler. But the birthright belongs to Joseph, which means the progenitorial blessings, the blessings of the womb and the breast, everything was deposited upon the head of Joseph, handed over to Joseph. And do you know the implication? The implication, and you know, Jacob himself was a product of such manipulation. When he himself and his mother also played their own game. Genesis 27, look at verse 1. And it came to pass that when Isaac was old and his eyes were dim, so that he could not see, he called Esau, his eldest son, and said unto him, my son. And he said unto him, behold, here I am. And he said, behold, now I am old, I know not the day of my death. Because this thing has to be handed over. It has to be handed over properly. You say, I don't know when I'm going to die. Now therefore, take, I pray thee, thy weapons, thy quiver and thy bow, and go out to the field and take me some venison. Verse 4. And make me savory meat, such as I love, and bring it to me, that I may eat, that my soul may bless thee before I die. Verse 18. Just that discussion, unfortunately, the enemies had it. The enemies had it. And he came unto his father, because his mother had it, and then they went behind him and did what they did. And he came unto his father and said, my father. And he said, here I am, who art thou, my son? And Jacob said unto his father, I am Esau, thy firstborn. Because he wanted to collect the firstborn's blessing. I have done according to as thou biddest me. Arise, I pray thee, sit and eat thy venison, that thy soul may bless me. And Isaac said unto his son, how is it that thou hast found it so quickly, my son? And he said, because the Lord thy God brought it to me. And Isaac said unto Jacob, come near, I pray thee, that I may feel thee for my son, whether thou be my very son Esau or not. And Jacob went near unto Isaac his father, and he felt him and said, the voice is Jacob's voice, but the hand are the hands of Esau. And he discerned him not, because his hands were hairy, as his brother's Esau's hand. So he blessed him. And he said, look at the blessing. Look at what he handed over to him. Which is what you are going to fight for if you are firstborn. Which is what you are going to fight for. You know, this message, I can't finish it in one set. Because there are branches to this message. What of those who are not firstborns? What is their own inheritance? That aspect is a different message. So, we are going to deal with that separately. But for today, we are here. Look at the blessings. Verse 24. And he said, art thou my very son? And he said, I am. And he said, bring it near to me, and I will eat of my son's venison, that my soul may bless thee. And he brought it near him, and he did eat, and brought it wine, and he drank. And his father Isaac said unto him, come near now, and kiss me, my son. And he came near and kissed him, and he smelled the smell of his raiment, and blessed him, and said, see, the smell of my son is as the smell of a field, which the Lord has blessed. Therefore, God give thee of the dew of heaven, and of the fatness of the earth, and the plenty of corn and wine. Let people serve thee, and nations bow down to thee. Be Lord over thy brethren. Are you seeing it? Are you seeing it? Where they change this arrangement, you will see the firstborn bowing down to the number 11. You will see the firstborn becoming irrelevant, becoming nobody, and all other younger ones. Everybody will be bowing down to the younger one, including the firstborn. Be Lord over, and let thy mother's sons bow down to thee. Cursed be everyone that curseth thee, and that blessed thee. And it came to pass, verse 30, as soon as Isaac had made an end of blessing Jacob, and Jacob was yet scarcely gone out of the presence of Isaac his father, that Esau his brother came in from his hunting. And he also had made savory meat and brought it unto his father, and said unto his father, let my father arise and eat of his son's venison, that thy soul may bless me. And Isaac his father said unto him, who art thou? And he said, I am thy son, thy firstborn Esau. You see, the firstborn must be coming to eat. And Isaac trembled very exceedingly and said, who? Where is he that hath taken venison and brought it me, and have eaten of all that thou comest, and have blessed him? Yea, and he shall. He said, that's the end. Everything will be handed over. I've offloaded everything upon him. Verse 34. And when Esau heard the words of his father, he cried with a great and exceeding bitter cry. Bitter cry. Because he has just been robbed. And this robbery is not ordinary robbery. It's generational robbery. It's an everlasting robbery. And he said unto his father, bless me, even me also, my father. And he said, thy brother came with subtlety and had taken away thy blessing. And he said, is not he rightly named Jacob? For he has supplanted, he has cheated, he has stolen from me these 2 times. He took away my birthright, and now he has taken away my blessing. And he said, hast thou not reserved a blessing for me? And Isaac answered and said unto Esau, behold, I have made him thy Lord. For you to understand what we are talking about, whosoever made the arrangement that went into your foundation and they arranged and reorganized things, and handed over what belongs to you to your younger ones, to any other person in the family, that person has just demoted you badly and placed somebody else to be your Lord. That's the implication. He said, I have just made him your Lord. And all his brethren have I given unto him for servants. And with corn and wine have I sustained him. And what shall I do now to you, my son? And Esau said unto his father, hast thou but one blessing? My father, bless me. He doesn't understand. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And then Isaac now blessed him, answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of heaven from above. And by thy sword, verse 40, very important. And that's exactly what I'm introducing to you today. He says, if anybody supplants you, if anybody manipulates you, and collect your progenitorial blessing, and collect the blessing of the womb and the breast belonging to you, he said, this is the only solution available under this heaven. What is the solution? He said, go and get a sword. Go and get yourself a sword. He said, by thy sword thou shalt live. He said, you will still serve him, oh. You will still continue to serve him. And it shall come to pass when thou shalt have the dominion, when you mature, when you are ready, when you can fight, when you have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. He said, that's the only way you can come out. That's the only way you can come out. Verse 41. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father had blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, the day of mourning of my father is at hand. Then I will slay Jacob, my brother. Say, I have to kill Jacob. I have to wipe him out. He can't live to enjoy this blessing. Brethren, that is how you address anybody. Anybody. You know, there was a time also, Jacob was dying. Jacob was dying. And then Joseph brought his 2 sons. He had only 2 sons, Ephraim and Manasseh. He brought the 2 of them again to Jacob. And Jacob will use his left hand, place it on the younger one, places the other one on the other one. Joseph said, this game again. Even in your deathbed, this man, you are still playing this game. And he wanted to correct him and say, no, this is the elder one. This is the firstborn. He said, don't worry, I know what I'm doing. That one also be great. But the younger one is the one I want to put the blessing upon. So he has done Joseph's own. He did Joseph's own and did Joseph's children own. Maybe there's somebody like that in your foundation. All they have been doing since they were born, since they have been in that family, is to manipulate birthrights. To manipulate who gets what out of the ancestral purse, out of the ancestral coffer. Who receives what? They deny those they want to deny, especially if you claim to be a child of God. If you claim you go to church, you refuse to join the family witchcraft, they say, come and collect something and let's see you. And so the only option left for you is that option that Isaac gave to Esau. He said, go and get a sword. Get ready to fight. This one is no longer my brother, my brother. I say, no brother here anymore. It has turned to jungle. You have to fight for your inheritance. And brother, that's what we want to do. I don't know where your own progenitorial blessings of the womb and the breast is presently as we are speaking now. Whether they are in your life or operating and manifesting, I don't know. Whether they are far away and somebody else is the one milking the thing and enjoying the thing, I don't know. But when you fight, your eyes will open. And you will see clearly. And you will understand where those things are. Let's close our eyes. First of all, let's take out this one. You're the progenitorial curses. You're the ancestral curses. You're the generational curses that you are manifesting in my life. That you are manifesting in my family. That you are manifesting in the life of my children. Thus saith the Lord, I break you now. By the blood of Jesus, I break you. Oh!
Thank you for watching. If this message blessed you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to join our growing community of faith. If you are in the London area, we invite you to fellowship with us. Otherwise, visit www.pastorhillary.org, where you can access the full prayers that follow this message and download our app, Diadem Media, for more life-changing resources. Stay connected with us for your journey of spiritual growth. If you have any questions relating to this message, would like counseling from Pastor Hillary, or wish to share your testimonies following the prayers, please leave a comment below, and someone from our team will get in touch. Until next time, may God bless you abundantly and guide you in all your ways. Stay victorious.